Have you ever held on to a relationship that drained you, hoping it would get better, only to feel emptier with each passing day? I know that ache all too well. For years, I stayed in a toxic relationship, clinging to the idea that love meant sacrifice, that I had to make it work to prove my worth. I ignored the knots in my stomach, the quiet voice saying, "This isn't right." It was like carrying a weight I thought was mine to bear. Then I found Carl Jung's teachings, and they showed me something powerful. Letting go of unworthy love isn't a loss. It's a path to incredible strength, a way to reclaim yourself. Jung, a thinker who delved into the depths of our souls, believed we all have a shadow. Those parts of ourselves we hide, like the fear of being unlovable or the shame of choosing poorly. He said the collective unconscious, the invisible rules society imposes, often traps us in relationships that don't serve us, convincing us we're not enough without them. But Jung saw a different way. When you release what's unworthy, you step into individuation, the journey to become your truest self. For me, that meant facing my fear of being alone and seeing it as a strength, not a flaw. Let me share a moment that changed everything. I was in a coffee shop, staring at my phone, dreading another tense call with my partner. I'd spent months trying to fix things, but I felt like a shadow of myself. A song came on, one we used to love, and instead of nostalgia, I felt a sharp clarity. This wasn't love. It was a cage. I ended the call and sat with my journal, writing about why I stayed. The truth hurt. I was scared no one else would want me. Jung's ideas helped me see this wasn't just my struggle, it's universal. Think of Neo in the Matrix, caught in a world that defined him, unaware he could break free. We're all a bit like Neo, holding on to relationships that dim our light because we're taught love means enduring. Jung's individuation is about choosing yourself, letting go of what doesn't align with your truth. Releasing unworthy love isn't about giving up, it's about trusting you deserve better, that you're strong enough to walk away. I remember the first time I took that step. I ended that relationship, heart pounding, expecting to crumble. Instead, I felt a rush of relief, like I'd set down a burden. I was scared, but I started writing, reconnecting with friends, rediscovering me. Jung would call this shadow work, facing the fears you've buried to find your strength. That choice sparked a quiet power in me, a sense that I could shape my own life. Why do we cling to unworthy love? Jung said, it's because the collective unconscious tells us love is scarce, that we're only worthy if someone else says so. But here's what I've learned. When you let go, you make space for a love that lifts you, one that honors who you are. It's not about closing your heart. It's about opening it to what's truly yours. What might it feel like to release a love that's holding you back, to trust you're strong enough to stand alone? I'm not saying it's easy or painless. I'm inviting you to wonder what strength could grow from letting go. Jung's teachings suggest that walking away from unworthy love is a doorway to a life that's yours, full of power and possibility. Let's explore what happens when you take that brave step together. Imagine waking up each day feeling lighter, stronger, not because you found the perfect love, but because you let go of one that wasn't worthy of you. That's the strength Carl Jung's wisdom unlocks when you release relationships that dim your light. When you walk away from what doesn't serve you, you're not just ending a chapter. You're stepping into individuation, the journey to become your most authentic self. It's like shedding a heavy coat you've worn too long, discovering you were always warm enough on your own. Let's dive into what this strength looks like. First, you integrate your shadow. Jung described the shadow as the fears and doubts you've hidden, like the fear of being unlovable or the shame of staying in a toxic relationship. For me, it was the belief I wasn't enough without a partner. I'd stay in relationships that drained me, thinking I had to prove my worth. When I let go, I had to face that belief. I'd journal, asking, why do I feel I need this? What am I scared of? The answers were raw. I was afraid of being unseen, but facing that shadow was like finding solid ground. Jung said, integrating your shadow brings wholeness, and I felt it, a strength that didn't need anyone's approval. Then there's synchronicity, those moments when the universe seems to align with your choices. Jung believed when you live authentically, life supports you. Think of Santiago and the alchemist, finding signs that guided him once he followed his heart. After I ended that toxic relationship, I started noticing synchronicity. I joined a writing class and met people who valued me for me, not for what I could do for them. One friend introduced me to a mentor who helped me grow. Those weren't just coincidences, they were synchronicity, showing me that letting go opened doors to better connections. This strength also builds a deep resilience. Each time you release unworthy love, you're saying, I choose myself. I felt this when I said no to a friend who constantly criticized me. I expected guilt, but instead I felt powerful, like I'd reclaimed my energy. Jung would call this individuation, defining yourself by your truth, not others' demands. Over time, this reshapes your life. You stop settling for relationships that feel heavy. You start attracting people who see your worth, and you find peace in knowing you're enough, with or without them. Let me share a story that brings this to life. Emma, a woman in her 40s, was stuck in a relationship that left her feeling small. She stayed, hoping it would improve, but it drained her. Reading Jung, she journaled about her fear of being alone, realizing it kept her tethered. One day she ended it, terrified but resolute. She started painting again, a passion she'd abandoned. Through a gallery event, she met someone who loved her art and her spirit. Emma's strength grew, and she felt alive. Her story shows what's possible when you let go. You find a power that draws the right people to you. This isn't about cutting everyone out or hardening your heart. Jung's teachings show that letting go of unworthy love is about honoring yourself, making space for relationships that lift you up. For me, it meant less time pleasing others and more time creating, growing, being me. My courage inspired a friend to leave a draining job, and she's thriving now. Jung believed individuation benefits the world. Your strength shows others they can find theirs too. Curious about how to start letting go? I'm excited to share some gentle ways to build that strength and embrace the love you deserve. Now that we've felt the power of letting go of unworthy love, let's explore how to make that strength a part of your life. Carl Jung's wisdom offers simple, heartfelt ways to release relationships that don't serve you. And they don't ask you to be fearless or perfect, just brave enough to choose yourself. These aren't rules to follow. They're invitations to listen to your heart, to trust that you're worthy of better. Wherever you are, you can start, and the strength you gain might feel like rediscovering a part of you that's been waiting to shine. One way to begin is with shadow work. Jung saw the shadow as the fears and doubts you've hidden, like the fear of being alone or the shame of staying too long in a bad relationship. For me, this meant facing my fear of not being enough. I'd sit with a notebook and write, why do I hold on to this? What's this fear protecting me from? I let the words flow, no judgment, like I was comforting a friend. It was tough, seeing my fear of abandonment laid bare, but it was like breaking a spell. Want to try? Take 10 minutes to write about why you stay in a relationship that feels wrong. Ask what fear is holding you back. Jung said, this helps you integrate your shadow, building a strength that's yours alone. Another step is practicing boundaries. Jung's individuation is about living true to yourself, which means saying no to what dims your light. I started doing this after that toxic relationship. When someone demanded too much, I'd pause and say, I can't do this right now. My voice shook, but it felt like reclaiming my power. You might try this. Next time someone crosses your boundaries, practice saying no, even gently. It's not about being harsh. It's about honoring your worth. Jung would say, this strengthens your core, letting you choose who deserves your energy. Self-reflection can guide you too. Jung believed the unconscious speaks through quiet moments or dreams. I'd end my day asking, what relationships feel heavy? What would letting go look like? Over time, I saw I was clinging to people out of habit, but small acts like declining draining invites made me feel stronger. You could try this. Spend 5 minutes reflecting. Ask, who lifts me up and who pulls me down? Or write about a dream. Jung saw dreams as messages from your unconscious. Note any feelings or images that stand out. These moments can show you where your strength lies. Here's a story to light the way. James, a friend in his 30s, was in a relationship that left him exhausted. He stayed, fearing he'd never find better. After reading Jung, he journaled about his fear of loneliness, realizing it stemmed from childhood rejection. He started setting boundaries, saying no to his partner's demands. One day, he walked away, heart racing but resolute. He joined a hiking group and met people who valued his energy. James's confidence grew, and he felt a strength he hadn't known. His story shows how letting go can free you to find connections that honor you. I invite you to try one of these, journaling, setting boundaries, reflecting, for a few days, just to see how it feels. Pick what calls to you, no rush. Want to go deeper? Jung's Man and His Symbols is a beautiful start. Link below. I'd love to hear from you. What's a love you let go of, and how did it make you stronger? Share it in the comments. Your story might inspire someone. Let's keep exploring this together, one brave step at a time. Let's take a moment to let this journey settle, like a deep breath after a long climb. Carl Jung's wisdom has shown us that letting go of unworthy love isn't about loss. It's about gaining a strength that's yours, a power that grows from choosing yourself. We've explored how the collective unconscious traps us in relationships that dim our light, how our shadows hold fears that keep us stuck, and how releasing what doesn't serve us leads to individuation, a life where you're fully, unapologetically you. The practices we've shared, journaling, setting boundaries, reflecting, are like seeds, planting a strength that blooms into a life you love. This journey, what Jung called individuation, isn't a finish line you cross. It's a lifelong path, full of moments where you choose your worth again. I still feel the pull of old habits, like when I'm tempted to please someone at my expense. But when I write about my fears, say no with kindness, or reflect on what feels true, I come back to my strength. It's like Santiago in The Alchemist, finding his treasure not in a prize, but in the courage to follow his heart. Letting go doesn't mean you'll never feel scared. It means you're strong enough to trust you'll be okay, and that strength grows with every choice. What's so beautiful is how this strength touches others. When you let go of unworthy love, you light a path for those around you. I saw this when I shared my story of leaving that toxic relationship with a friend. I was nervous, expecting judgment, but her eyes lit up, and she admitted she was stuck in a draining friendship. That moment gave her courage to set boundaries, and she's freer now. Another friend, inspired by my journey, ended a relationship that wasn't right, and she's found peace. Jung believed individuation is a gift to the world. When you choose yourself, you show others they can too. Imagine a world where we all let go of what holds us back, where every relationship lifts us up. That's the ripple you're starting just by being here. Where do you go from here? I invite you to keep nurturing this strength. Maybe journal about a relationship that feels heavy, or practice saying no to something that doesn't serve you, or take a quiet moment to reflect on what love you deserve. Try what feels right at your own pace. If you're curious for more, Man and His Symbols is a wonderful guide to Jung's ideas. Link below. Or join our Mystic Jung Insights community to share your journey with others who are choosing themselves too. I'm so curious. What's a moment you let go and found strength? Share it in the comments. Your story could be the spark someone needs. Let me leave you with a thought that's carried me through. You don't need to hold on to unworthy love to prove your worth. You're already enough, and every time you let go, you're building a strength that no one can take away. Thank you for being here, for walking this path with me. You're worthy of a love that honors you, and the strength to let go is already inside you. Keep choosing yourself. Keep growing and watch that strength light up your life and the world around you.